Welcome back. Today we're covering chapter number 4, part 2. Miss Havisham asks for Joe, and Joe is my master. And this is a big one. So last time in part 1, Pip won a surprising fight at Miss Havisham's house, then spiraled with guilt while his family dreamed of his future and Joe stayed silent. Today, Miss Havisham summons Joe himself, and what happens next genuinely changes how Pip sees the person he loves most. We are covering Joe's visit, the apprentice papers, and the payment, and what Pip's shame in that moment really means. So Miss Havisham suddenly asks for something nobody expected. She wants to meet Pip's actual blacksmith brother-in-law. And let's talk setting for a second because it's worth picturing. Miss Havisham's dim candlelight mansion and a world she almost never lets anyone into. That's the backdrop for this entire video. So remember that. So 2 days later, Joe puts on his very best clothes, and I mean his best. Clearly not something he does so often. So honestly, I would call the tone here quietly comic, but with something a little sad underneath as he's stepping into a world that just not is his, right? So Estella opens the gate, and the second Joe sees her, he takes off his hat and just holds it, gripping it tight, and he's so nervous. In the next scene, we get to see that, Joe's so uncomfortable that he can't even talk to Miss Havisham directly. So every question she asks him, he answers by looking at Pip instead. So Joe pulls the apprentice papers right out of his hat and hands them over. And Miss Havisham does something really wild. She slides 25 pounds towards Pip. So like, give it to your master. And this whole time, Estella's standing there laughing at Joe. And Pip sees it, and here's the part that stings. Pip hates himself for feeling embarrassed of Joe, but he can't help it. And this is genuinely our big theme for this video. Being around Estella's world is already quietly changing how Pip sees the people he actually loves. And when Miss Havisham offers Joe money for teaching Pip, he says no. He does not even hesitate. Which brings that same theme right back. While everyone chases money and status, Joe generally does not. He is the moral center of the whole story. Right before they leave, Pip asks if he can visit again. So Miss Havisham just says, no, Gargare is the master, is your master now. And so, let's just recap. Let's just see what we have done today. So Joe got summoned and got so uncomfortable he could not even speak to Miss Havisham directly and refused any money for himself, while Pip felt ashamed of him the whole time. And that is so sad. Have you ever felt embarrassed of someone who has always been kind to you just because of what others thought? Let me know in the comments. Next part is 3, a holiday. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your answer below. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.